Welcome to the Grimdark, where we tear into the shadows of dystopian tales and bathe in the grim light of futures unyielding. Today, we descend into Pestilence, a short story by Dan Abnett, carved from the fourth book of the Eisenhorn Omnibus. No towering heroes or galaxy-shaking battles here. Just a lone medici, a plague-devoured world, and the suffocating rot of the Imperium. This is Warhammer 40K stripped bare. And for the Emperor, we march into the abyss. In the sprawling, merciless cosmos of Warhammer 40K, Pestilence shifts the lens. We leave behind the thunderous authority of Inquisitor Gregor Eisenhorn, master of the Eisenhorn trilogy, a man who bends the Imperium to his will, and step into the boots of a humble medici. He's no warrior clad in ceramite, no psyker wielding the warp's fury. He's a healer, a speck in the Emperor's grand machine, tasked with stitching together a world unraveling under plague. Thousands perish beneath his hands on this single rock. Millions more have fallen to this sickness across the stars in ages past. This isn't a tale of triumph. It's a dirge of powerlessness, a hymn to the fragility of flesh in a universe that knows only war. For those who've walked the path of the Eisenhorn series, this story hits like a bolt round to the chest. Eisenhorn is a colossus. Doors shatter before him. Obedience is his birthright. He demands, and the Imperium kneels. But this medici, his voice barely echoes beyond the blood-streaked walls of his infirmary. He pleads for resources, for cooperation, and is met with cold rejection, or worse, the sneering disdain of those higher in the Imperium's iron hierarchy. It's a stark, brutal contrast that Abnett wields like a chainsword. Where Eisenhorn strides as a god among men, the medici crawls, a mortal caught in the gears of a machine that cares not for his pleas. This shift in perspective, it's a rare gift, a window into the 40K universe, beyond the bolter and the blade, into the lives of those crushed beneath the Emperor's golden throne. And then the Doom Eagles arrive. Second founding sons of the Ultramarines, these Space Marines are a shadow in the lore. Obscure, seldom seen, their name whispered rather than roared. For Warhammer 40K fans, their presence is a thrill, a nod to the deep cuts of the galaxy's history. But they're no saviors here. Their ceramite boots tread a world drowning in pestilence, and their arrival signals just how dire the rot has grown. These are the angels of the Emperor, gene-forged titans meant to stand unyielding against any foe. Yet this plague gnaws at even them. And here's the first crack of dread. Spoiler ahead, they might not just be victims. They could be the vectors, the unwitting harbingers of this creeping doom. The implications chill the blood. If even the Doom Eagles falter, what hope remains for the Imperium's lesser souls? Let's linger on that plague for a moment. It's no mere sickness, no mundane blight to be cleansed with medici tools or prayer. Abnett builds it slow, a festering wound in the narrative, until the truth seeps out like pus from a lesion. In an insane asylum, amid the ravings of a broken survivor, the shadow of Nurgle looms, the chaos god of decay, pestilence, and despair. His name never stains the page, and that's where Abnett's craft shines darkest. He doesn't need to shout Nurgle from the spires of Terra. The gibbering madness, the subtle rot, the dread that chokes the air, it's enough. Nurgle's touch is a whisper, a suggestion that coils around your spine and squeezes. This is horror done right. Warhammer 40K's metaphysical terror at its finest. A medical mystery mutates into a cosmic nightmare, and suddenly the stakes aren't just a planet. They're the soul of the Imperium itself, teetering on the edge of chaos. Step back with me now into the broader tapestry of the 40,000 universe. Pestilence isn't Abnett's flashiest work. No grand battles like First and Only, no intricate webs like Ravenor. It's quieter, more insular, a slow bleed rather than a gut punch. But that's its strength. It's a reminder that the Imperium isn't just space marines and hive worlds. It's the countless unnamed, the cogs who grind on while titans clash. The Medicay's struggle mirrors the Imperium's own, a rotting edifice held together by faith and desperation. And Nurgle? He's the ever-present specter, the decay that festers beneath the Emperor's light. Abnett weaves this tale with a deft hand, balancing the grounded and the grotesque, the human and the inhuman. So where does Pestilence land in the Grimdark pantheon? It's bleak, atmospheric, a scalpel-sharp jab at the Imperium's underbelly. The shift from Eisenhorn's iron will to the Medicay's quiet defiance is bold, a gamble that pays off in mood, if not in fireworks. The Doom Eagles add a spark of lore-driven intrigue, and Nurgle's subtle shadow is a masterstroke of dread. But it's not Abnett's peak. It lacks the raw dynamism of his best, the pulse of war, the depth of character that makes you bleed alongside his heroes. It's a solid entry, not a legendary one. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. A worthwhile descent for Eisenhorn faithful, or any 40K soul craving a darker, more grounded yarn. This is the Grimdark, and we have walked the plague-ridden wastes together. Subscribe for more Warhammer 40K lore, dystopian fiction, gaming grit, and more. And never forget, the Emperor protects.